morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is ShockWavee, and today we're going to be diving into how to become a solo queue warrior. Now, this is actually kind of perfect timing because this month I'm going to be trying to grind some ranks and trying to get a new X rank peak. So this is coming off fresh off my mind what I'm trying to do before I prepare for ranked rotation or anything like that. So yeah, we're just going to dive straight into this. As always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all the rest of it. I'm going to be streaming as much as I can since I'm going to be playing solo queue a lot. Maybe a couple times a day, maybe once a day, maybe every second day. It just depends when the rotations are on that I plan on playing. And of course, Twitter, Discord server, go check that out and all that. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive straight into this. Alright, so if you're in X rank or you're in S, A, B, C, wherever you're at, and all you want to do is kind of just rank up just so you can feel like you're improving or something like that, and you just want to, maybe you don't have a team and you just want to grind X rank as much as you can because that's what you enjoy to do, then this is definitely the video for you. I'm going to give you 5 different ways in which you can be improving. But yeah, we're going to be going into that today. So we're going to start with number 1, choosing your weapon first of all. Now sadly, if you play backline, it's going to be really difficult for you to win a lot of games on your own terms. So say you have like a bad team, or like it comes down to you and it's a 1v2, 1v3, it's going to be really hard as a backline to win those kind of situations and kind of carry your team over the line if your teammates aren't the greatest. So sadly, if you're planning on ranking up fast or getting a new X rank peak, you're going to be better off using a front line and mid line, something that can probably get a lot of kills. That's going to be my suggestion, but again, it's going to depend on the maps and the modes, which is what we're going to dive into in a second. But yeah, I just want to get this out of the way. You're better off using a front line and mid line, something that can get a lot of kills, something that can kind of clutch up in certain situations. Again, depending on the mode, some weapons are going to be better for others at carrying in certain modes. So yeah, I just want to get that out of the way. Alright, so when it comes to picking the right mode and the right map for your weapon, you really need to take things into consideration. So I'm just going to use the basic example. If it's tower control, you might decide to use a blaster or something like a Kensa Splattershot Pro or a 52 gal, where you actually have control over playing defense with a Booyah Bomb with the Kensa Splattershot Pro and the Kensa 52 gal, or with a blaster. It's good for defense because you can kind of just poke at the tower. Anyone standing on the tower is going to get hit by your blaster and eventually die, and someone else can swoop in when they're already damaged. So that's just one example. For Rainmaker, maybe you're running a Swoosh 7, something with a bomb that can just run and gun the whole time. Splat zones. This one's a bit weird because you probably need something that can paint a little bit more but can still get kills. So a lot of people use like a Dually Squelches or an NZAP. Those are 2 good examples of Splash-O-Matic. Some good examples there. Claimlets is a bit more difficult. You could use something that kind of has a free entry, so like a Tent Umbrella or like a Squeezer that kind of has bubbles, or like with the Tent Shield you can kind of push in. So this is some good examples. So that's just to start off with, and then you have to consider what maps it might be. So even though it might be just say Rainmaker, the maps might really favor like sloshes or blasters. So even though the weapon might suit the mode, it might not suit the map, and vice versa. It might suit the map, but it might not suit the mode. So you really got to balance it out, weigh it up. I can't tell you what you have to do because everyone's different. Everyone likes different weapons. They might like sloshes, they might like blasters, normal shooters, splatlings, something like that. So I can't tell you what you want to do. Just say you like shooters, for example, you might have to switch from a normal Splattershot, a Splash-O-Matic, a Kensa Splattershot Pro, the Kensa 52 gal, something like that, but they're all shooters. So it's a bit easy to switch from one to the other. So that's going to be that done. I hope that makes sense. It's not a straight up answer that this weapon will 100% give you a better rank or a better XP power. So yeah, hopefully that explains that. Alright, so with those 2 out of the way, now we come down to how you prepare for maybe that 2-hour rotation if you plan on playing the whole thing, or like half of the rotation or something like that. I recommend, this is what I do personally, having at least a 30-minute warm-up before your rotation. Now, this isn't just sitting in the training room for 30 minutes. This is, you know, actually going into whatever the rank rotation is before that. If you can go into a league session with a friend or something like that, to warm up, because obviously hitting the dummies is not giving you a proper practice when it comes to wear and the feel of the movement and actual combat in game. So of course you want to still do your training room warm up for 5 minutes or so, less than that, more than that if you need to, and then you jump into a ranked or league session for a little bit beforehand. Sometimes I do an hour, but somewhere between an hour to 30 minutes I would do. Again, if you don't have this kind of time, that's fair enough. Try and do at least a couple of games before the rotation, so then you're not just jumping in kind of cold and a little bit rusty, and then the first 3 games you might lose, and then it's a bit hard to gain back the points from there. So always keeping this in mind, trying to have as much warm up as you can beforehand. Again, you don't want to do too much warm up and then burn yourself out if you plan on playing the whole rotation, and then an hour in you start to decline in your performance. Find the right balance. You might have to try a couple times if you're a player that can only warm up for 20-30 minutes beforehand, otherwise you burn out too early. My next 2 points here are actually just going to be some tips on what you should do with mentality kind of thing, because I can't actually, it's a bit hard in this video to kind of tell you what you should be doing in the game, because it's going to be very specific to what map mode, weapon you're playing in that certain rotation. So I'm going to leave that off the table. If you want any specific help on what you should be doing, feel free to message me on Twitter, Discord, wherever that might be, on issues you might be having when you're playing ranked, or just any tips for certain weapons, certain map modes, or any other questions you might have. Just let me know. It's just a bit hard to do it in this video, so I'm going to jump into these next 2 points about kind of like your mentality as you're playing the game. Alright, so my 4th point is going to be, if you lose a game and you tilt, you either want to take a quick break, 5-10 minutes, whatever it might be, or just straight up stop. I've experienced this before when I'm playing. I take a bad loss, whether that's I lose in overtime, someone completely just threw on my team, something like that. I just need to have a quick breather, like 5 to 10 minutes. If it gets that bad and it happens after a couple games, I just need to stop. Playing with a bad mindset is not going to be good at all while you're playing the game. You're just going to get more frustrated and frustrated throughout the games that you're going to be playing, and you're going to keep losing and losing. So it's not good for yourself, it's not good for practice, it's not good for your rank when you're having an off day or when you're just frustrated playing the game, because you're not going to get any practice out of it. You're just going to be steamrolling ahead. You're not going to have any awareness of anything that's happening. You just want to get kills. That's all you want to do when you're frustrated. I know personally, I've had this experience a lot. Sometimes you just got to be the bigger person. You just got to sit back 5-10 minutes, go have a walk around, go outside, have a drink, and then come back, or just completely stop. One of the two, whatever you're feeling. But on a positive note, when you're winning and you're getting a few wins in a row and you can kind of feel this momentum, your aim is kind of gets really flicky and you feels like you can just kill anyone within your line of sight. Just keep playing. Don't stop. You need to ride that momentum. I've had this before when I made my push to 2700 my first time. My peak before I hit 2700 was below, I think it was like low 2600s. And then this month, this day, I literally gained like 80 points and then I hit my 2700 peak, and I just rode my momentum. I just kept playing. A lot of people kind of get scared and they stop playing once they see, oh my god, I'm at such a high power, I need to stop and chill and then come back the next day. But actually playing with all that momentum makes you feel so much more confident when you're playing the game. If you've already had a couple of good games with your aim, you're flicking everywhere, you're killing everything, you're like popping off every game pretty much. So you just need to ride that momentum. Don't be scared if you lose a game. It's just one game, don't worry about it, you can get it back. So making sure, ride that momentum, have confidence but don't be overconfident. You gotta still stay humble and still play your game, play your defense right, play your offense right, get aggressive and all that. So yeah, that's actually going to be all the 5 things. Again, if you want something specific on yourself, what weapon you play, the maps you should be playing, whatever it might be, feel free to message me on Discord. You can join my Discord server and then message me there, or just comment down in the comments below, message me on Twitter, anything like that. Anyway, you can find a contact of me, let me know. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all the rest of it. Stream. I'm going to be streaming a lot this month, so make sure to tune in for that over on my Twitch and then my Twitter and all of that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. I'll catch you guys in the next video.